Hey guys, I'm on my tablet, you guys, and I do not understand why it is. If I look this way, it's like I'm looking straight to you all, but if I look this way, I'm looking that way. Like, I don't know if I turn it this way, okay, I'm looking straight, but then I don't know if my video is going to be sideways. I don't know why my tablet do this. I don't know. Maybe I have to let my daughter look at it. But I was just sitting out here talking to the Lord, and I want to share this with somebody because I felt led to. Somebody that needs to be healed from the inside out. I mentor a lot of people, just being an evangelist and just being in my own personal relationship with God. I began to pray and walk through deliverance. Some of you all know about the video where I told you all that I had voodoo put on me years ago, years, but God delivered me from that. But at the same time, because of my relationship with God and because I was constantly praying and reading my word and everything, I would pray and till I would throw up, and I just knew that I would go in prayer feeling one way, but I came out feeling better. And I just started doing it, but I didn't understand what was going on. Like, why would I pray so much that I'm throwing up? And so my cousin and her husband, that is pastors and deliverers, they walk in deliverance, began to tell me, you doing deliverance on yourself. And I didn't even understand. I didn't know. So God began to, just take me through deliverance, show me how to heal, show me what steps to take. He began to show me and lead and guide me. And when I would go through some hurt or something, like, I've dated some people that hurted me because I hadn't dated in so long, like 13 years. I was just loving on God. So I've met people that really just hurted me and so I would have to take this stuff to God, you guys. And at the time I didn't have the money for counseling or nothing like that. So I began to pray and seek God. And he began to show me how to go through healing. He began to show me what to do, this and that. And so every day, we go through things, and I want to share this with you guys because I talked to a young lady right now that's going through some things. Okay, if you are talking to someone, it don't even have to be in a relationship, but it could be in a relationship. Maybe that's where you attach to someone the most, or you think, negative the most when you are in a relationship with somebody and they may not do what you think that they should be doing, or maybe not be calling, or maybe may not be texting, things of this nature. And because of the things that you've been through, you are reacting in your old patterns, but you say that you have been healed. Okay, this is something that God wanted me to share with you guys. Begin to, just so that if you talking to someone, I'm gonna use relationship as an example because most people deal with those type of things. If you're talking to someone new or even old, and y'all may be having some problems with communication and things like that, because whatever is going on with you, it starts with you. You is the common denominator. It's you. It's not the next person. A lot of times people think that whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, is the next person. No, it starts with you. So, okay, just so like if you are talking to somebody and maybe you call them or you text them and they didn't, reach back out to you, maybe an hour done passed, maybe 2 hours done passed, but you used to talking to them, they usually, get back to you like bam, bam, bam. But all of a sudden one day, you notice that they hadn't just got back with you like that. First of all, I want you to stop and think. Don't react. Go to God and begin to pray and ask God, Lord, why because us ladies and sometimes men, the negative thoughts will come, and then you get upset and wondering, okay, they may be talking to somebody else, this and that, all these type of negative stuff. But what I want you to do is not react. Get in a place and begin to talk to God. And that wolf, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke it. It didn't want to come by until I started talking, but I'm getting this word out. Go to God and ask God, what is it inside of you that is making you react the way that you react? And begin to let God deal with you from the inside out. Because no matter what, you can't control another person. You can only control you. You don't want to be getting all, because just say if you all do get married, or you may be in a good friendship or whatever. The main thing is work on you. When you become peace, when you work on your emotions, your mental health, and you become so peaceful, people love to be around that energy. But the most thing, you're going to love yourself more than you could even imagine. Excuse me. The Lord began to show me how to heal my emotions and my mental health. Because I said, God, I want to be healed mentally and emotionally. You know, I've been working on my emotions, but I want to be healed mentally. Because a lot of times people don't work on their mental health. And so God began to lead me to people that could help me in those areas. And I take notes. You know, a lot of times we just hear the word, we feel good at the moment, and we see it, but we don't put it into action. You got to literally put this stuff into work. If you see, you know, if I will say this, even if they don't even text you back the whole day, yes, you're going to, you know, it's going to make you upset because, you know, some people feel like, you know, they shouldn't go that long, but do not react. Should be asking God, okay, why am I feeling this way? God is going to begin to show, excuse me, you guys, he's going to begin to show you why, so that you can deal with that and work on it. Now, I'm not saying be a fool or be crazy and be, you know, ignorant and just don't have no common sense. Because, you know, if a person don't respond back to you 2-3 days, you know to go ahead on and move on. You don't even have to be, if they don't splash out. Don't get mad. Don't send no crazy texts. And why? Don't ask no questions. Just move in silence. See, this is the part of working on your own mental health, your emotions. Don't get upset and go off. Because, see, I used to do that. Let me tell you something. God dealt with me so, and he's dealing with me about that right now. And it will help me, y'all. Thank God that I got my dad in my life. My cousin that's married. My best friend is married. So I have a lot of married people around me. And see, by me being by myself so long, if something feel uncomfortable for me, I would just I'm not dealing with it, because I know how I feel to be in peace, how I feel to be good. So I'm not dealing with it, and I'll be ready to get out and I run. Y'all will be ready to run. But I thank God that I had a cousin that be like, no, you got to pray. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. You know, we fighting against these principalities in the dark places. The enemy don't want to see you married, so he's going to come with all kinds of things. You got to pray. Because marriage is not about sex and this and that. It's, you know, it's about ministry. So if you ready to pray for your husband, you ready to pray for your wife, then you be prepared. Don't just wait till you get married and start doing. You got to do it now. So I thank God for my cousin that will help me with that. And then she began to testify to me, because her and her husband been married for almost 30 years, you know. And then my dad told me, y'all, just the other day, my dad told me this. He was like, you can't, my family called me Moo. Excuse me. He was like, you can't get mad when people don't text you back. And, but he was saying, like, and I was like, yes, I can. You know, I'm just, you know, my dad, he is very protective. You know, he want to see me happy. But at the same time, he let me know when I'm wrong. Now, he understands for me not to be a fool, you know. But I'm like this. If I text you, and like if you don't text me like right back in 30 minutes to an hour, I am done. Especially if you see it, because, you know, y'all know, you on social media, you can see when a person sees something. Especially if you see them looking at it and they not responding. No, that's, to me, like, that's just disrespect. But see, God had to show me, even though it may be disrespect, and they tell you they tired, but they still up on there. You know, I'm looking at that like, that's disrespectful. They may be talking to somebody else, but God still had to show me that I can't control them. I can control me. Do not allow anything to get up under your skin that much to where it makes you so upset with someone, because you don't have to answer for them when you go, you know, on judgment day. You got to answer for your own self, and then it makes you body, you know, you be feeling some type of way, because emotions make you feel different. You could be feeling good, and then you get all upset or whatever, then your spirit go down. So you don't let anybody mess with your peace. If you know what and so my daddy made me think, and I was like, okay, Lord, what I should have did was just, you know, instead of me, you know, getting upset and saying, you know, I see my message and why you ain't responding, and he's still not responding. Instead of me reacting, I should have just focused back on myself, on God, and just keep on going straight. Because, see, a lot of times we meet people, we lose our focus. Because you may thinking, you know, we're thinking about the outcome of the situation already, instead of enjoying the process. Instead of taking it day by day. Stay in the moment. And see, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm sharing this with somebody. I know somebody needs to hear this, because the Lord just kept telling me, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment, especially when you haven't dated in a long time. And you so used to, when you meet somebody, I don't know, and I'm like, God, what, anything that come up with me, I'll be asking. I'm like, okay, God, what is this? Why do I need this? What, help me? And I began to have grace for other people, mercy for other people. I'm not going to be a fool. I'm a watch because I'm a watcher. I'm always watch. I always watch. Anyways, so I observe instead of just react to everything. You can get your answer across without getting all upset and mad and this and that. And it's okay for people to have, like, if you want to be a person that know how to communicate, it's okay for people to have disagreements and communicate in a good space. Like, I don't want all these negative patterns, these delays and all these negative things that I have experienced in my past. I break them now in the name of Jesus. I do not want to continue to have that. I don't want it to go on in my marriage that I believe that God has for me in my future. So I'm working on my mental and emotional health. And my daughter told me today she was messing with me because they always like to play me. Because I met a person that I talked to. We friends. That's it. And she was like, "You full of joy, mama. So and so must got you so happy." And I smiled and laughed because nobody has me. But she was just joking with me. But it was still funny because I realized she noticed it. The joy that I have comes from the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy that I have is because I've been working on my mental health. I've been working on my emotional health way before. But a lot of times we don't take things, okay, we ask God to help us with our mental and emotional health. But we don't practice. You can practice on your family. You can practice on your children. Yeah, I'm sweating now because the sun is peeping out. But earlier it was cold in my house, so I had on this sweater, y'all. Ooh, so I'm sweating. But we don't practice. You can practice on your family. You can practice on your friend. Like if you're a person that, like my children, they always tell me, "Yeah, you be hollering. Now, sometimes you have to holler at people because, people will make you holler. But sometimes you have to work on that because I can get my point across without hollering and yelling. And sometimes you just have to breathe. And, God will show you how to be emotionally unattached, like not emotionally unattached, because we don't want to be emotionally unattached, but he will show you how to, what word can I say? I move my emotions. They're not going to move me. I control my emotions. They are not going to control me. And that's what and I used to say that all the time. I control my emotions. They don't control me, but they was controlling me. Because if a person can, do something and it gets you all upset and this and that, they don't text you back, they don't call you back when they say they was, and they can get you all upset, then they are controlling your emotions. And it wasn't until now, and that's why I say we go through things all the time until I begin to realize, okay, God, I really want to really get my emotions and my mental health in, the best standards ever. I want to be, because God said we should have the good and the living. We should have the good in the land of the living. So it is possible for us to be happy. And I know it. I know it is because I've been there before. I was there at a place, and tell you, I can't even explain it. I hadn't dated in 13 years, and I was at that place in God. And when I met this guy, it just threw me completely off. And it just meant, oh, Jesus. It was just so crazy, you guys. And I believe that because sometimes I was just so loving on God, and we can meet people that, I didn't even know anything about relationships because they changed, and I wasn't studying nothing about relationships. I'm just getting into a relationship thinking that, this person thinking like me. And because I love God, we didn't have sex, we was, and because he was a provider, just things that I just automatically thought that, he was, but he actually deep down underneath wasn't. And then he had people in his ear that, so it was just a lot of things. But when you begin to work on your mental and emotional health and ask God to help you to move in the moment, the now, stop looking for an outcome. Look on the now and see the person for who they are. Get to know the person, and don't look at the now. Get to know the person. And I'm telling you, everything will be so much better. It will be so much better when you begin to get, and I don't know where that come from, you guys. I know it had to be the Holy Ghost, because like I said, I be coming outside talking to the Lord, and it just came to me. Go through the now. Walk in the now. Walk in the now. And I'm just